Picture this. You're out enjoying one of those perfect South Carolina days. Maybe you're on a trail in the Blue Ridge Mountains, or maybe you're just weeding your garden. All of a sudden, you hear that rustle in the leaves. What's the first thing you feel? For a lot of us, it's a jolt of fear, right? Well, today, we're going to trade that fear for some solid, practical knowledge.
So let's put a number to that sound. You actually share this beautiful state with 6. That's it, just 6 venomous snake species. It's not some huge, scary, unknowable list. The whole goal here is to get you familiar with these 6 so that when you hear that rustle, you feel confident and aware, not just afraid.
Yep, just 6. That's the number. So let's get to know them, shall we?
All right, first up, we're going to meet South Carolina's venomous 6. Now, the idea isn't to turn you into a herpetologist overnight. It's just to give you the confidence to recognize them, give them their space, and keep everyone safe.
And I really can't say this enough. All of this is for identification from a very, very safe distance. These are clues to help you recognize a potential hazard so you can just calmly back away. Got it? Okay, with that in mind, let's meet our first snake.
First on our list is the copperhead. This is one of the most common venomous snakes you might see around here. Now, yeah, it's got a coppery colored head, that's where the name comes from, but the real giveaway, the thing you want to look for is the pattern on its body. See those hourglass shapes? They look kind of like a row of Hershey's Kisses lined up. If you see that pattern, you know you're looking at a copperhead.
Next up, we've got the cottonmouth, which you might also know as the water moccasin. And that nickname is a big clue. You'll usually find this one near water. Its most famous trick, though, is its warning sign. When it feels threatened, it will open its mouth super wide, and the inside is this shocking bright white, like cotton. It's a really dramatic, unmistakable signal that says, hey, back off right now.
So, South Carolina actually has 3 kinds of rattlesnakes, and they all have that signature rattle we all know. But what's interesting is how different they are in size. You've got the eastern diamondback. This is the big one, the largest venomous snake in all of North America. Then there's the timber rattlesnake, usually found in more rugged, wooded areas. And then you have the tiny little pygmy rattlesnake. Its rattle is so small it can sound more like an insect buzzing. But no matter the size, that sound is nature's clearest stay-away signal.
And last but not least, the most colorful and, honestly, the most confusing one, the eastern coral snake. You've probably heard that old rhyme, right? Red touches yellow, kill a fellow. Red touches black, friend of Jack. Here's the thing. Trying to remember a rhyme when you're startled is a terrible plan. The best rule is way simpler. If you see a snake with bright red, yellow, and black rings, just leave it alone. Don't get close enough to try and solve a color puzzle.
Okay, so knowing who they are is step 1. Step 2 is learning how to avoid a bad run-in in the first place. This really all comes down to being aware and being smart when you're out in their world, which more and more is also our world. This whole checklist really boils down to just being mindful. Wear sturdy boots, not flip-flops when you're walking in the woods. Pay attention to where you put your hands and feet, especially around log piles or in tall grass. And if one shows up in your yard, remember, you're not a snake wrangler. Just watch it from a distance, and if you're worried, call a professional. Avoidance is always, always the best move.
Okay, we have to shift gears here for a minute. Hopefully you will never, ever need this information. But knowing exactly what to do in the very unlikely event of a bite is absolutely critical. In that moment, panic is your worst enemy, and having a clear plan is your best friend.
So listen closely, because these steps are lifesavers. First, and I know it's hard, but you have to do everything you can to stay calm. A slower heart rate means the venom spreads slower. Second, keep the limb as still as possible and try to keep it below the level of your heart. Third, get off any jewelry, watches, or tight clothes near the bite. Swelling is going to happen. And finally, the most important step of all, get to a hospital immediately. This is a 911 level emergency every single time.
Now, what you don't do is just as important as what you do. You know all that stuff you've seen in old movies? Cutting the wound, applying a tourniquet, trying to suck the venom out? Forget all of it. It's all incredibly dangerous, and it will only make things worse. Your one and only job is to get yourself or the person who is bitten to a hospital as fast and as safely as possible. Period.
So why are we talking about this so much? Why does it feel like we're hearing about snake encounters more often these days? Well, it's not because snakes are suddenly getting more aggressive. It's because our worlds are colliding a lot more than they used to.
And this is really the heart of the matter.
As we build more homes and communities, we're pushing right into the natural habitats where these animals have lived forever. We're not just visiting their homes on a weekend hike anymore, we're literally building our homes right on top of theirs. That makes this kind of knowledge more important than ever.
And in these spaces we now share, the stakes can be high. Of all the snakes we've talked about, that eastern diamondback is considered the most dangerous. Not because it's mean, but simply because it's so big, it can deliver a large, potent dose of venom if it bites in self-defense. It's a pretty powerful reminder of why respect and caution are so key.
You know, in the end, this isn't just about keeping us safe. It's about figuring out how to coexist. And this idea really says it all. Understanding these animals is vital, not just for our safety, but for making sure these incredible creatures are around for years to come.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that we know they're here, we know how to spot them, and we know how to stay safe, what's next? The next step is moving beyond fear and toward respect. How can we all be better, smarter neighbors to the wildlife that was here long before our houses were?